senior researcher and a professor at the National Oceanography Centre in the UK. He's the co-author of a report on microplastics, and we were talking about the research that's been done, finding between 12 to 21 million metric tons of microplastics in the top 200 meters of the Atlantic Ocean alone, let alone all the other waters that the globe is made of. Richard, thank you so much for coming back to us. Technology can, of course, fail us sometimes. Is there any way of telling whether there's one particular type of plastic that dominates in terms of the waste that you found? Because I'm just thinking that if we're able to identify a particularly dominant form of waste, we might be able to trace the source of that waste. In other words, go to an industry and say, look, it's particularly your plastic that is polluting the oceans.
That's an important point. Who is actually most responsible, or what particular industries? And we're not really in a position to make that sort of statement. There are a tremendous number of different types of plastic, and we've highlighted just the three most common varieties of it: polypropylene, polyethylene, and polystyrene, which are about half of the plastic waste. But to try and find out where this comes from and which particular industries, whether they're the maritime industries or whether it's old waste dumps or rivers, is actually quite a difficult challenge, but a really important one to address.
Were you able, in this research, also able to establish in any way how long it's taken for this much plastic that you found to be disposed of in the Atlantic?
We really would like to know this, and we're not able to do it with the samples that we've got. Because plastic production and plastic waste release has been increasing so strongly, almost certainly it is fairly recent sort of material, but it has still got right down to the South Atlantic and right down to 200 meters depth, and probably way below that, right down to 5,000 meters.
And was your research also looking at the environmental impact of this sort of pollution, or is it now up to other scientists to take your work and build on that?
No, my team certainly has expertise in the ecotoxicology, the harm that is done by this material, but we haven't done this on these particular materials that we've collected. There's really two sides to the coin. The one is how much is there, how did it get there? And the other side is what harm does it do at the concentrations we find it. The second one is really difficult to do, and the first one we are making significant inroads into that.
Richard, I'm so glad you came back to us. Really interesting. Thank you so much. Richard Lampitt from the National Oceanography Centre in the UK.